Today I want to talk to you about a concept which I think is a great concept, and one which is developing fast, particularly in the USA, North America, but it's also happening here in the UK. And it's something I think would be beneficial to lots of people who live in one part of the world, but with intentions of going back to their original homes when they retire or reach a point where they've worked sufficiently and want to return home. And I'm thinking particularly of people like people from the Philippines who do work in countries in the Middle East, the other parts of the Far East as well, America, Europe, etc. I want to talk about container homes and the attraction of container homes. Now, a lot of people, when you mention the word container home, they go, "Ooh." I mean, my wife, she's from the Philippines. I've spoken to her about a container home, and Richie's reaction was, "Oh no, I'm not sure if I want to live in a container." But containers are actually very solid constructions. They are watertight. They are, obviously they are steel boxes used for shipping goods all over the world. But their steel is the frame, and the steel is constructed in such a way that gives them longevity. The steel used is a type of steel called Corton steel. So when it rusts, it provides an extra strength on the surface of the container, and it gives it a stronger application. Now containers are available standing empty all over the world. I mean, there's over 1 million containers in America at any particular moment in time. But I'm particularly looking at designs of containers that can be constructed in such a way where you can have the construction of the container house put inside the container, along with all your other household goods that you wish to ship back home when you're ready to go back home. And so the whole package goes back to your location, your piece of land, your plot in the Philippines or wherever. Now, obviously, it doesn't have to be one container. It could be 2 containers, 3 containers, as many containers as you can afford, and in terms of the type of design you want to have. Containers come predominantly in 2 sizes: a 20-foot length container or a 40-foot length container, and they're usually about 8 foot wide. You do get bespoke containers made as well, of 45 foot and even a 56 foot, I think. But the majority of containers are 40 foot and 20 foot. Here's a short movie on somebody who's designed a container for his own use, so he can ship it to any part of the world and live in it, and move it on. That's the other advantage, by the way, of containers. I mean, if you buy a container and you want to put it in, I don't know, Cebu or somewhere in that area, and then after getting there and you've been living there a while, you want to move to Baguio. You can pack it all up, move it, put it on a new piece of land in Baguio. So the whole construction of a container is also very useful. It is solid, it is watertight, it can be locked up and secure, so you don't have any. I know people will think, well, okay, but if I'm in the Philippines, I could build a bamboo property, and possibly it would be similar price. Yes, possibly, but you have the solid construction of a container. And don't forget all the appliances you want to buy from, for example, the United States or from the UK or wherever, can be built into your container while it's still in the UK. Plus you're bringing all your other goods. You can even put a car into a container, for that matter. So there are lots of benefits from people working overseas that want to go back to the UK. Anyway, here's the first short movie I would like to show you.
G'day Evans.
Hello mate, how you doing?
Good mate. Now looking at this container here, I would never guess that there's actually a house on the inside.
No, it's like the TARDIS.
You're a boat builder by trade, and you travel all over the world actually building yachts. There's a real strategy behind this though, isn't there? The whole idea of actually constructing a home in a shipping container but not putting any penetrations on the outside. Because as soon as you start putting the holes in them, as soon as you start cutting doors and windows in them, all of a sudden they actually stop being useful as a shipping container.
Exactly, you can ship them on a truck, but you can't ship them country to country, whereas if you keep them as a viable shipping container, you can go anywhere in the world that you can land a shipping container.
Well, I'm really anxious to have a look at what you've done.
Okay.
Already this entranceway is just packed with character, isn't it?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And then I'm guessing through there is into the main part of the house, and then to the left,
Bathroom.
bathroom's in there.
Yes, it.
Well, let's take a look inside.
Okay.
Wow, this is a surprise, I have to say. Standing in here, I would never guess that this is a 20-foot shipping container. You have managed to pack so many features into such a tight space.
Yeah. And it will ultimately be twice the width. It will be 2 meters wider. So though you could live in it now, it will actually be much more spacious. Well, my wife died 4.5 years ago, and I bought this container to store our stuff because I intended to go overseas and just get away. She'd suffered for 4.5 years, and it was time to go. And I had in the back of my mind that maybe I could do something with this container, which is why I bought this particular format. Then when I came back here, I emptied this, which had all our stuff in, and went through the process of fitting this one up.
Tell me a little bit about what your thought process was when you were designing this space. What were you trying to create in here?
Oh, well, the object was to create an individual, unique space within a 20-foot container, specialised 20-foot container space. I mean, that was all I wanted to do, and I basically made it up as I went along. I knew conceptually what I wanted, but as it's come together, it's almost organically grown. I just knew roughly what I wanted.
So you've got the bed up here?
Mm-hmm. That used to be our bed, as I say. A lot of this stuff is memorabilia from Rosie and I. This was a queen-size bed, but I cut it down, and yeah, that's my bed.
And how lovely that you're able to kind of honour those memories by taking things that were in your home together,
Yeah.
and still incorporating them into your new future home.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're able to move on with your life, but also not forget and retain the memories and everything that was special.
Yeah, I mean, even this, although I've redone it, was a coffee table that we had. It's just since then I've incorporated the fossils, etc. in it.
Yeah,
But
wonderful.
That was our coffee table.
So lounge area down here.
Which is a double bed, yeah.
This is a double bed as well.
Yep.
Excellent. So in here you can actually sleep 3 people.
Yes, comfortably. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're comfortable beds.
You've got a really nice custom ladder to access the bed.
Yeah, but also storage for, handkerchiefs and socks and stuff like that. This one's a drawer, and these ones just all fold out.
Brilliant.
Your steps and your...
And again, this actually really reminds me of marine design.
Yeah,
eh?
it's very nautical, isn't it?
It really is. I absolutely love what you have done with this kitchen. You've got to be a bit of a cook to build a kitchen like this.
Oh, I love cooking, yes. Yeah, I really enjoy cooking. And it's that triangle of space is one of the things that's supposed to work really well with kitchens, where you got your fridge, your cooking area, and your preparation area, and your sink, all sort of where you can go from one to the other. Behind this is my water tanks. There's a stainless steel water tank which will be very thoroughly filtered for drinking water. Underneath that there'll be 160 litres of washing water. They'll all be lifted 600 mil, and behind that and underneath that will be the pressure pump and the batteries for the 12-volt system. So that's all behind this here.
Fantastic. So almost all of your utilities are hidden behind the fridge.
Yes, and my boards, my electric boards will be behind here.
I have to say, the woodwork in here just makes it feel so welcoming.
Yeah, I like it. And this is actually just Quilla floorboards, exterior floorboards.
Right.
And this is solid acacia timber. And I haven't, these are oiled, they're not varnished. And so you have to keep oiling and waxing it.
And there's still the bathroom to have a look at.
And so my intention with the bathroom was not to have a small size bathroom. Everything is normal size, though it's a macerator toilet. As you can see, it looks like a normal toilet. The vanity, the shower are all normal size, and then I put the graphics on because it was quite sterile, and like the rest of it, I wanted to make it individual.
And you know what? This is exactly what a home is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you walk into a room and laugh or smile or feel good, you know? What a cool idea. So what about insulation in here? Because insulation's always a really big topic with shipping containers, isn't it?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's a tin box. So obviously, if you don't insulate it, you can't live in it. This is insulated with 12 millimeters of Meltica with 30 millimeters of high-density polystyrene behind on the walls. The ceiling is made in one panel by a company that does the insulated truck bodies. So it's fiberglass, 40 mil of high-density insulation, and then fiberglass, and then I routed in the LEDs. This, as we can feel, is comfortably warm, and all that's keeping it warm is one of these wall heaters, which takes about as much as a light bulb, so they say.
Wow. So yeah, really, really simple space to heat.
Yeah.
What about your power here? So I know you mentioned that you've got a battery system which is being installed behind the fridge. So how do you intend to power it? Will it be off-grid, or is it designed to be grid connected?
The concept is going to be more and more and more off-grid. All my lighting is 12 volt, and I will have a 300 ampere hour battery system, solar charger, but I also have an intelligent 240s charger. Basically, this one can be plugged in as you would to mains, but it will also have the provision to just run a generator, so that when I want to run my washing machine.
Look at that! That was hiding back there. Check it out, you've got a full-size washing machine just
And
there.
dryer, it's a washer and dryer.
You heard that one well.
Yeah. Right through, it's a utilisation of space. That's exactly what you're doing about. You utilise the space, so it's exactly the same as looking at the space and you utilising it both for practical purposes and for best use of volume.
Just as a ballpark figure, what do you estimate this project has cost you so far?
Under 25.
Under 25,000.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That is a remarkable result for that. And I suppose as well, if you were adding the labour element onto that, the figure would obviously increase. But with a material cost of $25,000, I still think that is remarkably achievable for people, isn't it? Even paying labour on top of that for the construction if they have to.
So you could live in this, but if you see it as 2 metres wider with glass and with the panels top and bottom, you're probably talking, when it's 22 square metres, about 50 grand, I reckon.
Yeah.
And that you should be able to pay somebody at that price. I mean, say it depends what you want, but as I explained with the figures, it's not like they're huge, other than the 10 grand to buy it, and these, you know, the panels and the windows, of course. You know, they're just what they cost.
Yeah.
But the rest is not massive at all. This is just to say it's probably less than building a room on your home.
So could we open up this side of the container and get an idea for what the space will be like when it's all complete?
Absolutely, yes. And as I say, it will be 22 square metres. That's what the size will be. Plus it will have a glass side leading to a veranda, but there'll be 22 square metres internal.
All opened up, this space really starts to make even more sense, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does, yeah. You can't really see it until you see it like this.
So what's the concept of actually enclosing this space? How does it work?
Okay, I have another panel similar to that comes over the top. It will have a roof over again, but for a ceiling I'll have a panel similar to that. A panel similar but with fiberglass on the bottom, insulation and plywood on the top that will have matching flooring on the top. And then from the 2 metre mark here, this will be at right angles, and it will be glass all the way along here, glass on this corner, a roof over the top and a veranda.
When it's all folded out like this, I think two things become really evident. Firstly, how well the space actually functions just when it's a folded up 20-foot shipping container, but also how well the space can be expanded. Even just being able to open up the container like this, I mean, you couldn't ask for better indoor-outdoor flow than what you've got right here, eh?
No, and if the temporary window is in fact a range slider, you can just open it up any rate, you know, and so you'd have that without opening it, just on a day-to-day basis. As you say, on a nice day, you can just open it up and have your garden there and your living area here, and they become one.
This design has really impressed me. I think you have done an absolutely phenomenal job. The concept is brilliant. I love the fact that it's really transportable. It's customized to you, and most importantly, I just think you have constructed a really beautiful home for your future. Thank you very much for showing it to me.
No worries.
I think you would agree it's quite useful, isn't it? Quite good. And it's a solid, I keep on emphasizing the point, we're talking about a solid structure. These things are built for being stacked on ships, bashed around, you know, and can be, you know, are very, very durable. Now, you can buy a new container, of course you can, as well, unused. I like the idea of buying a used container, one that's had a few knocks and been, you know, bashed around, because there's a little bit of history with it as well. Then there's a little bit of a story that you can always tell people when you're living in your new home. So I quite like that idea. I would try and maintain it as a container to look as much as I possibly could. There's also potential to bring businesses over. So you could have a bakery in a container, a restaurant in a container, a fashion boutique shop in a container. That can be built out and construct when you get to your destination. And it would, you know, it would be a solid piece of construction. You know, you're not going to worry about, well, if I lock this up, it's going to be easy to break into. No, it's a solid piece of construction. Containers are watertight as well. So you don't have any of those worries and concerns. Obviously, if you cut too much out of them, eventually, you know, there might be weaker elements, depending on how the construction is. Now, with construction, you can either have all the materials packed into the container for the completed design, okay, with the plans, and when you get it to your destination, you can then complete the construction yourself, or you can have it constructed on the inside with just the outside windows that need to be then cut into the container once you reach your destination. That's possibly the two options. Containers cost anything, well, a 20-foot container, I've seen used ones going for £600, £700, under £1,000 in some yards. You know, a 40-foot container, anything up to £2,000, and you know, but they are very cheap in terms of what. And don't forget, you're using it to transport your goods back to your destination, your home. And it's the same price. It doesn't matter what you put in the container. If it's not product for resale, it's you know, it's your home goods. It's for your home. So whatever duty you pay on that side of the world, it'll be minimal in most cases. Here's another video.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Carly.
And I'm AJ.
And our crazy parents decided to make a tiny home
Out of a shipping container.
I'm Chris Bonito, and this is my beautiful wife, Christine, and together we're ATU Container Living.
And this is one of our beautiful creations.
This tiny home shipping container is actually 165 square feet. It's 20 feet long by 8 feet by 8.5 feet tall. We fit a lot of different features in this tiny home. My favorite is the bathroom. The shower's made out of a corrugated steel with some wood trim.
And it's
really
pretty
clean.
Big. It's pretty big as well.
It's a big shower for a tiny home, I'll be honest with you. You could definitely fit more than one person in there. And
It's definitely
so you
roomy.
definitely roomy. You can fit more than one person, I promise you that. So the bathroom vanity, we got to build it together out of pallet wood. Use that piece of 400-year-old wood. Really came out nice. What do you like about the container?
Well, my favorite part of the container is the white shiplap. Combined with the 5 windows, I love how the space appears larger than it actually is.
It really does seem a lot larger than it actually is. I can't believe we fit a queen-size Murphy bed inside.
I know. And it also turns into a couch.
Yeah, when you're not using the Murphy bed, it is a couch. It's pretty comfortable, actually. Kick your feet up, watch some TV. It's a nice little comfortable spot. And that's just the beginning of this unit, actually. What really catches your eye?
I would have to say the wood beams add a very rustic feel to it.
Rustic and industrial, I think. Off the white and the openness, it really kind of pops. It goes with the wood floors that we actually redid. Those are actually the floors that were in the container. We just redid them. We did a little bit of sanding, took a little bit elbow grease, but actually it really came out really nice. We did it a dark walnut stain. We threw some poly on top of it.
And if you're hot or cold, I love the fact that the air conditioning unit serves dual purposes.
Yeah, it's a 9,000 BTU unit. So it's made for about 450 square feet. So for this unit, you can actually hang meat in it. It gets pretty cold. And for the cold winters, you can throw the heat on and it'll be like a little bit of a sauna, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to crank it up too high. We got double insulation in this thing. It's about 4.5 inches of insulation, and that really keeps the cool in and the heat in when you want it to. The barn door gives it that rustic kind of cool modern feel twist at the same time.
You have your writing desk, which is right underneath one of the nice windows, one of the 5 windows that we've added. If you'd like to just sit down and eat something in the morning, and if not, if you'd like to create more room, also it folds down, which creates more room for you to go about.
When it's not in use, you can definitely fold it down. You have a little bit more space in there, but when it's time to eat, when you need to, throw your laptop up there, get some work done, it can become easily an office space.
There's also a mini refrigerator, which is great, and everybody needs one of them, so we made room to incorporate that as well.
With that being said, I mean, it's a pretty good sized kitchen. It has a double burner induction stove, gets all your cooking done that you need to do.
I really liked how the main lights are on dimmers.
Yeah, it does give it a nice atmosphere.
Yes, it does.
You can lower it down,
Yeah.
get a little
Get
mood.
in the mood,
Yeah,
yes,
a little
absolutely.
bit of mood.
I also like the pendant light that you chose. It adds a little bit more of a modern feel, so it mixes the rustic and the modern together as well, which I think really gives you an opportunity to decorate.
I think the kitchen's a little bit more modern with the faucet the way it is. It's got that really cool handle that you could pull off. It's clean everything that you have to.
Yes, there's a lot of storage.
Yeah, there is a lot of storage actually under the kitchen sink and the induction stove. There's quite a bit of storage in the kitchen area.
Yes.
And you have enough room to put a microwave for sure.
You do, and there also, as far as storage goes, there's also storage underneath the Murphy bed as well, underneath the cushions. All in all, I had a lot of fun working on this unit with you.
Yeah, I had a blast. It was a really fun and great experience.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those couple of videos and what I've had to say about shipping containers and how they can be utilised back home as good quality homes. There are many, many designs. I mean, there are even container homes, luxury container homes, built in LA, near Hollywood. I mean, that's how fashionable container living is becoming these days. Okay, talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.